It might be challenging to know how to connect with women in today's environment. But what if you had access to a robust old weapon that could guide you through it all? With assurance. Yes, we are discussing Stoicism. That philosophy, is all about being a strong moral man in this video. We will utilize the code of Stoicism to reveal 11 things that intelligent men should never do with women. Gentlemen, buckle up and prepare to learn how to be the best gentleman possible. The calm way. Remember to press the warning bell and follow button to ensure you never miss a tip. Now let's move. Number 1, using sex as a weapon. Using sexuality as a weapon of control or manipulation is naturally unethical within the framework of Stoicism, which stresses virtue, self-master, and regard for others. Men of wisdom who follow the Stoic tradition reject such ideas and aim instead for an intimate relationship based on mutual agreement and respect. Rather than force or deceit, the development of virtues including modesty and self-control is highly valued in Stoicism, all parts of life. Especially intimate relationships require these qualities. Using sexuality as a bargaining chip or weapon is immoral and goes against the ideals of respect and honesty, which wise men know it is clearly unethical to engage in sexual relationships through deception or compulsion. Stoicism emphasizes that people should accept and respect the autonomy and decisions of others and treat them with decency and dignity. And according to wise men who follow Stoic principles, real closeness can only occur when both partners are willing to let go and accept each other's space and wants. In action, Stoicism says that people should live their lives based on reason and moral virtue. Using sexual relations for manipulative or controlling purposes comes from egocentric and base urges, which goes against the Stoic principle of living a life based on reason and moral virtue. Smart men work hard to become self-aware and self-disciplined so that they can act according to moral ideals instead of egocentric ambitions. Furthermore, Stoicism exhorts people to think about how their actions may affect others and to follow virtue, which is the ultimate good. It gets worse when people use sexuality as a trading chip or weapon. Joint understanding, respect, and trust can cause pain and suffering for everyone. Smart men who put ethics first know how important it is to build respectful relationships based on trust, open communication, and joint agreement. Men who are smart and want to know how to treat sexual relationships with respect and dignity should read Stoicism to maintain virtue, self-control, and ethical behavior. Men should not use sex as a weapon or bargaining chip and should instead aim for friendly closeness that is voluntary. This helps everyone respect their own autonomy and dignity, which leads to healthier and more satisfying interactions. Number 2. Insult about women's feelings. The Stoic culture stresses how important it is to understand and control your feelings. Men who are smart shouldn't ignore or make fun of women's feelings. Instead, they should treat them with respect, kindness, and good communication. Stoicism says that feelings are normal and necessary parts of being human, and that embracing and accepting women's feelings is important for building stronger emotional relationships and mutual understanding. Just like men, women feel different emotions like joy, grief, anger, fear, and love. These emotions are useful indicators of our personal beliefs, needs, and boundaries. Not only does ignoring or dismissing women's feelings ignore their unique experiences, but it also makes it harder for them to build real, meaningful relationships. Smart men show their emotional intelligence by being able to relate to and talk about women's feelings. Instead of trying to explain or ignore them, men can accept them and create a safe space for them to express themselves. This affirmation helps the pair grow in trust, closeness, and mutual respect. Effective communication is another part of the Stoic philosophy that smart men should use when working with women's feelings. Clear and empathetic communication helps men understand why women are feeling the way they are and react appropriately. This could mean actively listening, paraphrasing, and asking clarifying questions to promote realizing and appreciating women's feelings is good for relationships and a big part of promoting gender equality and emotional health. Men who accept women's feelings go against gender norms that ignore or downplay them. This shift toward more empathy and understanding encourages acceptance, compassion, and support for each other. Men who are smart and follow Stoic beliefs know they need to understand and value women's feelings. Men who understand how women feel and communicating clearly can help people build stronger emotional bonds and better understand each other, which promotes gender equality and mental health in society. Number 3. Treating women as objects. People who follow Stoic ideas can make a strong case for respecting everyone, because Stoic ideas stress virtue, reason, and the inherent worth of each person. Men who are smart should stop looking at women as objects and instead recognize and respect their full humanity. This means seeing women as whole people with their own goals and desires, instead of treating them like things or tools for your own benefit. Objectification is when people are seen as means to an end instead of ends in themselves. This dehumanizing view strips people of their agency and intrinsic worth, turning them into mere commodities or sources of pleasure. Stoics say that this is morally wrong and bad for one's character and integrity. No matter what gender, everyone has inherent worth and deserves respect and kindness. This means recognizing and supporting women's freedom and choice, following through on their choices and not acting or thinking in ways that hurt their identity. Valuing women as whole people means recognizing their complexity, originality, and unique contributions to society. Women have goals, ambitions, and skills that should be praised and supported. By taking this view, smart men may be able to create a culture of mutual respect and empowerment, where women can follow their goals and reach their full potential without fear of being objectified or exploited. Also, seeing women as objects promotes harmful gender stereotypes and unequal power relationships, which hurts the values of justice, equality, and human dignity. Intelligent men condemn this kind of behavior and work to make society more fair and welcoming, where everyone is valued and respected. Stoicism gives intelligent men a way to understand and defend women's inherent worth and dignity. Men can make society more fair, caring, and peaceful by refusing to objectify women and instead appreciating them as whole people. Number 4. Not getting consent. Consent is the foundation for respecting someone's autonomy and dignity, and it's the ground for all moral interactions and relationships. Smart men who are influenced by Stoic ideas of virtue and honesty know how important it is to ask and respect women's permission before engaging in any physical, mental, or verbal interactions. Consent means giving your free, passionate, and well-informed permission to do a certain action or behavior. It is both the law and the right thing to do, based on the ideas of personal freedom and physical integrity. Stoicism says that people should be good, which means treating others with care and acknowledging their uniqueness. It is against a woman's rights to ignore or turn down her permission, taking away her freedom and power. It supports a culture of entitlement and dominance where someone's wants or needs come before their boundaries and health. Wise men know that getting permission means not being pushy or aggressive, and actively seeking positive, eager permission in every situation. Also, getting permission is an ongoing process that needs to be talked about all the time. Limits should be respected and understood by both sides. Men who are smart know that women can take back their permission at any time and must pay attention to and act on women's signals and wishes. This means paying attention to behavioral cues, outright refusals, and loud comments of discomfort. Smart men encourage trust, safety, and mutual respect by putting women's consent first in their relationships with them. They know that consent enhances the quality of their relationships by promoting closeness, communication, and emotional connection. They also know that respecting women's boundaries is not only the right thing to do, but also necessary for building healthy, fair, and rewarding relationships. Stoicism gives smart men a way to think about and follow consent norms when they're with women. Men who actively seek and respect women's permission show their commitment to virtue, honesty, and personal freedom. This leads to better and more rewarding relationships and helps build a culture of mutual respect, equality, and dignity for everyone. 5. Stoicism, which focuses on honesty, integrity, and moral virtue, can help smart men deal with women by preventing them from gaslighting or controlling them. Stoic ideals are broken by gaslighting and manipulation because they involve lying, compulsion, and taking advantage of other people's weaknesses for selfish gain. Instead, Stoicism encourages honest and open conversation as the basis for trust, respect, and real relationships that are connected. Individuals use gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation, to try to change another person's view of reality by making them doubt their own experiences, feelings, and memories. This is done to control and manipulate people, usually to show authority or keep them in the relationship. Stoicism sees this kind of behavior as a breach of trust and a breach of ethics. Smart men who follow Stoic ideas know how important it is to be honest and real with women. Instead of gaslighting or manipulating women, they choose open conversations based on sincerity, empathy, and respect. This includes being honest about their thoughts, feelings, and goals, even if it's hard or inconvenient. Also, smart men know that trust and openness are necessary for real connection and mutual respect to grow. By encouraging honest communication and openness, they set the stage for healthy and successful relationships based on mutual understanding and respect for each other's autonomy. In addition, Stoicism stresses that real strength doesn't come from manipulating or controlling other people, but from having moral character and mastering yourself. Wise men know that gaslighting or manipulating others shows weakness instead of strength and hurts their character and integrity. Instead, they work to develop values like honesty, empathy, and sensitivity, which are needed for healthy connections and relationships. Smart guys can learn a lot from Stoicism about how to act in interactions with women. Men can show they care about virtue, honesty, and mutual respect by not gaslighting or manipulating women, and instead being open and honest with them. This leads to better and more rewarding relationships and helps create a culture of trust and real social connection. Number 6. Putting down women's accomplishments. Stoicism, which focuses on personal virtues like honesty and realizing that people have worth on their own, gives wise men a strong foundation for interacting with women. Putting down or downplaying what women have done breaks Stoic rules that say people should work on improving their morals instead of comparing themselves to others. Stoicism backs recognizing women's worth and potential and praising and encouraging their achievements. Eudonia, which is also known as thriving, is an important part of Stoic philosophy. This thriving isn't caused by things like money, fame, or prestige, but by building moral and intellectual values. Smart men who follow Stoic principles know that real happiness comes from living by virtue and reason, not from comparing themselves to others to get support or feel better about themselves. Women's successes are often criticized by people whose worldview is based on fear, competition, or a desire for power. Stoicism tells people to get stronger inside and believe in themselves, knowing that real grandeur comes from being morally better than others, not from putting them down. Smart men who follow Stoic beliefs don't put down or ignore women's accomplishments because they know that doing so hurts women's confidence and sense of self-worth and looks badly on their character. Stoicism, on the other hand, encourages people to have an abundance mentality and praise the abilities and accomplishments of others, especially women. Wise men know that women make unique contributions to many areas of life, including business, education, the arts, and more. Honoring women's accomplishments shows that they have worth and potential on their own, and it can help build a community that is welcoming, supportive, and appreciative. Also, Stoicism helps people learn to understand and care about others by recognizing that everyone faces their own problems and struggles on the way to virtue. Wise men know that ignoring women's achievements not only reinforces harmful gender stereotypes, but also goes against the ideas of justice, equality, and human decency. Instead, they work to support and empower women by recognizing their abilities, successes, and goals as things that deserve to be celebrated and supported. Stoicism is a great way for smart men to deal with these issues, show respect, appreciation, and support for what women have done. Men can create a culture of mutual respect, acceptance, and empowerment by not putting down or criticizing women's successes and instead celebrating and supporting them. This leads to better and more meaningful relationships, the fulfillment of individual potential, and the well-being of society as a whole. Putting women's stories down. The Stoic philosophy stresses the importance of recognizing and validating each person's experiences, no matter what gender they are. Ignoring or invalidating women's experiences, whether they are related to discrimination, harassment, or personal hardships, goes against the Stoic principles of empathy, compassion, and respect for the individual journey. Each person's experiences shape how they see the world and shape their character. A lookout Stoicism tells people to treat others with kindness and understanding, recognizing that everyone's journey is real and important. Men who are smart and have strong morals know that ignoring women's points of view not only ignores their real lives, but also reinforces harmful patterns of discrimination and injustice. Like men, women can have a lot of problems and roadblocks in their lives, such as discrimination, abuse, and built-in obstacles. Men who are smart and follow Stoic morals, they don't downplay or ignore these experiences because they know that doing so hurts women's autonomy, sense of self-worth, and dignity. Instead, they listen carefully to women's stories, acknowledge them, and offer help as needed. Active listening is an important part of Stoic philosophy and is necessary to validate women's experiences. Wise men listen carefully and let women talk without interrupting or judging. They try to understand the thoughts, feelings, and points of view that shape women's experiences by showing compassion, understanding, and respect. Stoicism also stresses the importance of helping and supporting those in need. Skeptical men who are smart and supportive of women help them deal with problems and obstacles by acknowledging their feelings and offering support. They know that helping women with their problems is good for one's own health and helps make society more fair, caring, and equal. Stoicism serves as a philosophical framework for smart men to understand and support women's experiences. Men can show they care about empathy, kindness, and justice by carefully listening to women, validating their points of view, and helping us when we need it, instead of rejecting or ignoring their experiences. This helps build a culture of mutual respect, understanding, and unity where everyone's path is recognized and respected. Number 8. Talking over or stopping women. Temperance, self-control, and respect for others are emphasized in Stoicism, which can help learned men talk to women well. Interrupting or talking over women goes against the idea of balance, as well as equality, mutual understanding, and respect. Stoicism tells men to actively listen, which lets women say everything they want to say. This creates a real conversation and mutual respect. Interrupting or talking over someone, no matter what gender, is rude and shows a lack of self-control. When speaking, Stoicism tells people to practice the virtue of temperance, which means being moderately controlled and aware of one's actions and speech. Guys who are smart know how important it is to let other people say what they think and not take over talks. Giving women a chance to say what they want shows that you accept their independence and choice, and it also makes communication and discourse better. Stoicism stresses how important it is to listen carefully and with empathy in order to understand other people's points of view and experiences. Guys who are smart and practice active listening encourage unity, understanding between people. Also, talking over or interrupting women keeps power relationships in place and leads to gender inequality. It shows that you don't care about what women have to say, which makes them feel even more left out and marginalized. Men who are smart and believe in equality and justice know how important it is to create spaces where everyone, regardless of gender, feels like they have the power to fully participate in discussions and make decisions. Wise men show they care about having meaningful conversations based on mutual respect and equality by not talking over or interrupting women. They let women share their ideas, information, and points of view by actively listening to them. Increasing knowledge among everyone while encouraging teamwork and cooperation. Intelligent guys can learn a lot from Stoicism about how to talk to women in a good way. Men can show they care about tolerance, respect, and equality by not talking over or stopping women and instead listening carefully. It creates an atmosphere of understanding, cooperation, and empathy, where all points of view are valued and acknowledged. 9. Men acting superior to women in their relationships with them. Intelligent guys can learn a lot from being stoic. a way of thinking that is based on humility, logic, and the idea that people can make mistakes. Assuming men are better than women based on gender stereotypes or cultural norms goes against Stoic principles and hurts the ideas of mutual respect and equality. Instead, Stoicism encourages treating women as equals and appreciating and embracing their unique skills and points of view. Stoicism is based on humility, realizing one's flaws and tendency to make mistakes. Smart people who believe in stern ideas see. They know that the idea of being better than others is based on arrogance, stupidity, and a lack of self-awareness. They also know that everyone, regardless of gender, has worth and deserves respect. Thinking they are better than women spreads harmful gender norms and leads to unequal power relationships. It gives women a sense of entitlement and advantage which lowers their self-esteem and freedom. Men who are smart and care about fairness and equality don't agree with these ideas, recognizing the need to treat women as equals without preconceived notions of power or inferiority. Additionally, Stoicism stresses recognizing and valuing others' unique views and contributions. Women bring different ideas, skills, and experiences to many areas of life, which helps people understand each other better and encourages new ideas and creativity. Smart guys who believe in Stoic ideas honor and accept what women have done. Realizing that different points of view and experiences are valuable in and of themselves means talking to women as equals and building a relationship based on mutual respect, kindness, and understanding. Men who are smart pay close attention to what women have to say, try to understand their experiences, and value what they bring to discussions and decisions. Men create an environment where everyone feels welcome and equal, letting women develop and use all of their skills. Stoicism gives smart men important advice on how to interact with women in a fair and careful way. By rejecting ideas of superiority and embracing humility, men may encourage real respect, understanding, and love for women's ideas and achievements. 10. Not recognizing women's intelligence or talents as smart men should never do this in the context of Stoicism. This encourages a culture of equality, mutual respect, and cooperation in which everyone is valued and able to reach their full potential. There is a philosophy called Stoicism that says all people, regardless of gender, have natural logic and wisdom. Stoicism encourages people to see each other as having intellectual potential and intrinsic worth, and stresses the need to treat others with dignity and respect. Women, like men, can think critically, solve problems, and offer important ideas in many areas of life, such as intellectual conversation, professional work, and personal relationships. Men can make their relationships more open and meaningful by recognizing and valuing women's intelligence. Not valuing women's intelligence reinforces harmful stereotypes and hinders cooperation, innovation, and progress for both parties. When men recognize and value women's intellectual contributions, they make room for more open and varied points of view. This leads to better decision-making and faster social progress, as well as an environment where people value and respect each other's intelligence, encourages peace and teamwork in encounters with other people. Men can build stronger relationships with women based on intellectual curiosity and mutual understanding by having open-ended conversations and discussing ideas on an equal level with women. To do this, they should take the Stoic view that everyone is naturally smart and logical. Men who are trained may be able to get past gender stereotypes and help make society more fair and smart. Men are very important for promoting gender equality and getting people to work together as much as they can by recognizing women's intelligence and supporting equal conversation. Number 11. In Stoic thought, not saying sorry or taking responsibility being honest. Self-improvement and taking responsibility for your actions are very important when mistakes or damage happen in relationships. Stoicism encourages people to take responsibility for their actions. Sincerely say you're sorry and do what you need to do to make things right. Smart men who follow Stoic principles know they need to take responsibility and want to learn a lot when they hurt or exploit women. Stoicism is based on the idea that each person has free will and control over their own thoughts. Stoicism says that men make the ideas of honesty and responsibility less important when they don't say sorry or take responsibility for their actions. Taking responsibility for your mistakes is a sign of strength and moral integrity, not weakness. To say sorry, you must recognize how your actions affected other people. Intelligent men who follow Stoic ideals know they need to say sorry quickly and honestly when they hurt or damaged women, whether it was on purpose or by accident. They also promise to do better in the future. Stoicism stresses the importance of making mistakes and learning from them in order to keep getting better. Men who are smart know that taking responsibility for their actions is important for healing broken relationships and growing as a person. Being ready to admit when they're wrong and make positive changes can help guys improve their relationships and their morals. Stoicism also tells people to focus on what they can control and let go of what they can't. Since it's impossible to change the past, people can take responsibility for their actions in the present and work toward a better future. Stoic men who are smart know that they need to say sorry and take responsibility for their actions in order to fix relationships and make peace. Smart men can learn a lot from Stoicism about how to handle apologies and take responsibility in interactions with women. Men can deepen their relationships with women by being responsible, honest, and willing to learn. They can also build mutual respect and understanding and develop their own integrity. This is good for individual relationships and creates a culture of openness, accountability, and compassion. Smart men can benefit a lot from using Stoic ideas when dealing with women. Men who practice respect, empathy, honesty, and humility. We can build better, more enjoyable relationships based on mutual understanding and equality. Let's try to show these traits in our daily lives so we can have peaceful relationships and help make society more fair and caring.